Oh, welcome everybody to the Maj 2 Ray Show. Y'all know what it is. Come in, hit the like button, communicate. We talking about it tonight. This is what two-way betrayal looks like. Y'all know the routine. Come in, smash the like button, hit the comment section. Let me know where y'all watching from, what city, what platform, all that other good stuff. Make sure you share the space all over the place. What's up, Wild South? How are you, fellow solutionary in the room over there from South Carolina? Wild South is on that fitness journey in the Solutionary Nine. Everybody that wants to join up, make sure y'all tap in. Solutionary Nine, we'll put that link all over the place. Tonight, y'all, we are going to have a discussion about what Second Amendment betrayal looks like. And you guys know we start the show trying to get everybody to come in, comment, let me know where you're watching from. Let's boost the algorithm. Don't cost you nothing. If you're watching this on X, share the space all over the place. Literally cost you $0 to just hit the repost. I can see who hits the repost, and I really appreciate y'all all for doing that. We're trying to get the YouTube channel to 100,000 subscribers this year. We I think 37,000, so we got a ways to go. We got about 6,000 subscribers to get on YouTube, and we need everybody to tap in. Pittsburgh, Ray Netta, what's up? What's up, Ray? Big Rob over in Jersey, peace. Today, y'all, we just got to come to a harsh reality, guys. And some of y'all might not like this. I know, Ray. Some of y'all may not like this. The Trump administration is anti-gun. And tonight, we are going to methodically go over, not too deep, it ain't got to be too complicated. But we're going to go a little bit back, and we're going to go into what's going on right now. Oz Money, what's up? And we're going to let you guys know exactly without a shadow of a doubt. And this may offend some of my political connects because, I have slight relationships with some of these folks. Okay. What's up, Renee, over in Utah? What's up? Beautiful over there in Utah. What part you in? Salt Lake, Park City, where you at? So, guys, the administration is horrible. This administration has been the most legendary fumble of all time. I've said this several times. I said this on a few YouTube videos I put out this week. Again, guys, we want to make sure everybody is subscribing to the channel. For those of you that don't know, I'm Maj Toure, the founder of Black Guns Matter and Solutionary University. Why should you listen to me about Second Amendment stuff? Because for the last 9 or 10 years, I've been traveling around the country informing people about their firearms basics, teaching those classes for free to all based on voluntary donations, as well as I've been a student of civics since I was in high school. Really enjoy American history, really enjoy these things. And we've dedicated a big chunk of our life to making sure that we're informing people to be safe and responsible firearms owners. And so this is the reason why you should listen to me. Our work has been cited in the Bruen decision, which is unequivocally some of the most impactful Second Amendment work and legislation in American history. Our work is cited in that decision, and we are proud and honored to serve you all. We're going to ask you guys to continue. We need we only have about 253 more donor slots left. For everybody that donates at the $99 level or more, you get access to all of our classes and all that other good stuff. But we want to make sure that we keep these in-person and digital classes, firearms basics classes, free to all. So we're going to ask you guys to support the work at givesendgo.com/solutionary. And if you want to keep the show going, make sure you can just buy me a coffee. Buymeacoffee.com/Maj Toure. So we can get, we got a whole little thing going on. We're going to take the show somewhere else. And again, subscribe to the channel. We need 100,000 subscribers this year. And we are 63, 67, something like that. I think we had 37,000. So 40 would be 63,000 subscribers to go this year. And I want everybody to make sure that you subscribe. A lot of you that are watching the show are not subscribed. So please, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Now, when I say that the Trump administration is anti-gun, some of you are conservative and or Republican. If you guys are not aware, I'm a libertarian. What's up, Vince Zinger? How are you? Bookworm, what's up? Okay. When I say this, some of you guys, well, the Biden administration, they were anti-gun, such and such and such. You guys are basing this thing based on this trap, this duopoly trap, this uni-party trap, because it is a uni-party, but it presents as two. So you say, well, they did it, so we should be able to do it. Or It's not as bad as when they did it, when the standard is limited government and the Second Amendment, which says there is, no infringements, shall not be infringed. It doesn't say a little bit less infringements than the blue team, a little bit more infringements than the blue team, a little bit, not any of that. It's not what it says. When you forget about civics, this is why we have teacher civics class. When you forget about that and limited government, you seem to think, or it's easy to think, that one administration is, you are supposed to be beholden to a party. Congress is not beholden to the executive branch. I want to say that again. And as much as you say, well, the Democrats stick together, if the Democrats are sticking together for unconstitutional violation of Bill of Rights shit, that doesn't mean when Republicans, or even if a libertarian was in office or someone with libertarian ideology, this does not mean that they should be like, well, we stick together for something stupid, because the standard is limited government, systems of checks and balances. And why the Second Amendment is important in that is because the Second Amendment is the amendment that defends all of your other human rights, your ability to keep and bear arms that should not be infringed by government. This is there to make sure that government stays in check. That's the actual answer. So when people say, well, Maj, why are you such a single issue voter? Why are you so serious about the Second Amendment? Because that is the water dam between global authoritarianism as it relates to America. And when you have someone like Trump who presents as if they are somehow Second Amendment and all of their actions are in the opposite, you got to come to a point where the benefit over doubt is gone. And that is that point tonight. You guys see on the screen right now, there's a buy me a coffee. If you want to support the show, you can do super chats. That's awesome. If you're watching on YouTube, just do a super chat. We'll try to get 10 people to do $20 a piece. So that's $200 per show. But if you're not on YouTube, you're on X, right? That link on the screen, buymeacoffee.com/Maj Toure. Y'all know I like coffee. Hold on one second. Speaking of coffee, let me make sure I get mine. My bad, y'all. Got to turn my coffee pot off. But anyway, guys, coffee. Buy me a coffee. So when I say that the Trump administration is anti-gun, it's not me saying it because it's a convenient, because some people will say, well, I guess since you don't like Trump no more, the grift is over, or whatever they'll say. No, it's based on things like this. This is pretty much his administration. Let's see what they say. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear.
I like that he had a gun. I don't like that he had 2 fully loaded magazines. That's a lot of bad stuff.
You cannot bring a firearm loaded with multiple magazines to any sort of protest that you wanted.
I am sorry that this gentleman is dead, but he did bring a 9mm semi-automatic weapon with 2 cartridges to what was supposed to be a peaceful protest.
You have the right to carry a weapon to defend yourself, not the privilege. It is a right. Those rights come with restrictions.
We respect that Second Amendment right, but
People on YouTube can do a super chat or buy me a coffee. Okay, whichever one. I didn't know. For you guys that don't know, Bookworm is the producer. I have no idea. I just work here. I'm the pretty face. There was a lot of buts in that conversation by all people that are in the Trump administration or Trump adjacent. So when I say these people are anti-gun, that's just one step. It's just one clip, pun intended, because these are 2 cartridges. I don't like that he had 2 cartridges. All of these things that these guys say are stupid. 1,000% stupid. And when I say they're stupid, this has to be backed up with things. I was there in Trump's first term when he was first campaigning. I was at the NRA annual meetings where he said, the 8-year assault on your Second Amendment rights have come to a screeching halt. I was there. Literally, I got CNN and C-SPAN good press at that NRA convention. There's a picture with me with a Black Guns Matter shirt and Trump right behind me. It's in black and white. It was on one of the NRA magazines. Okay? That doesn't have anything to do with the reality of the Trump administration, whether it was the first term, and people gave him a lot of the benefit over doubt. This is why this show tonight is called Betrayal. You presented as one thing, and then you lied and did the exact opposite. And so in the first administration or term, everybody went, well, Trump's trying to get his feet wet, and, he didn't know that the swamp was this deep. Are you coming up with every fucking excuse? Now, let me be very clear. The excuses that some people make for this administration, or people they attack him, they'll say, well, no, you giving him excuses because he's really a racist. The racist conversation, I don't give a fuck what's in somebody's mind. Somebody's mind has no bearing on what the fuck I do with my life. What they think about me has nothing to do with me if they can't impede directly on me and my business, or the things that I have going on, the service that I have for you guys, the training, the classes, the Solutionary 9, all of that stuff, right? So my argument isn't about that. My argument is about, I'll give him the benefit over doubt, maybe the first term. But during the first term, it was the bump stock ban. During the first term, it was take the guns first, due process later. It was these back-to-back statements that it was just stupid. And me still going, he's trying to play the politic game at that time. It was just things that I just was like, this is just questionable. However, I'll give it a little bit of room. I'll give it a little bit of room. Like most of us did. We said, we'll give it a little bit. We think that maybe. And then he got the second, attempt got stole. I believe that election was stolen. No one has to agree with that. You don't got to agree with me. I ain't tripping if you won't agree. But I think it was stolen. I think it was just around the time when fucking COVID and now the mail-in masks and the COVID hoax and all of this other bullshit. All of this bullshit. So I was like, oh man, then it's set up for the potential for the greatest political redemption arc in American history. This was set up, and when I say set up, I just look at it like, oh man, this was perfect. They cheated us. We're going to stop the steal. You had a bunch of other, and I've said this before, you've had a bunch of other Democrats that were defecting Democrats. You had Tulsi, Vivek Ramaswamy, you had fucking RFK, you had just fucking everybody looking real good. You had Bongino coming out of left field. It looked like fucking royal, all of your favorite WWE characters across generations. It just was all over the place, and it looked great. And I was like, and then, as a libertarian, Angela McArdle reached out and said to the Biden administration, who were the president, in that administration at the time, offered them a seat at the Libertarian National Convention. They didn't show up, but everybody else did, and Trump did. And I was there again, front row. The arc of this story was amazing. Okay? The arc of this story was amazing. I seen a few people mention the QAnon thing. I thought the QAnon thing was bullshit, but that ties into this too. I thought it was bullshit with a lot of the stories and the tribunals, and when Trump gets in office and there's going to be military tribunals. And I'm starting to feel somewhat that way about the Epstein shit. I'm starting to feel somewhat about that, right? And I don't want to say that about how I felt about QAnon. I'm starting to feel somewhat about the Epstein shit, but I'm be easy how I say this because I don't want it to make it seem like I'm trying to sweep that shit under the rug. I think that there's weird shit going on. I was hip to Frazzle Drip and Pizzagate and Podesta, and one of my favorite songs, I remember when the remix for the video came out, I was creeped out, but I didn't know who the fuck it was. The song was Somebody That I Used to Know, right? That song had a creepy video with a kid in it and like a dude that I thought looked like Podesta, like singing to the kid, and the kid was visibly shaking. It was weird. So I knew about those things for a while, so I don't want to shit on that, right? But the reason why the Epstein thing starts to look like a fucking carrot dangle is because there's never anybody either arrested or that group, Go Chief or whatever you call them, right? It's starting to look a little too weird. When I start evaluating, and I'm a bit of a sidebar, guys. When I start looking at the numbers of like when they're saying Pusha T was in the fucking Epstein files, first of all, some of that stuff that's been the 12 million pages that have been made available, some of that comes from informant like recommendations, for lack of a better word, or like tips, right? based on the math, Pusha T would have been like 17, 18 years old. And I doubt if at teenage Pusha was not in Hampton Roads, Virginia, was in the Lolita Express during that time. Some of this shit just doesn't make sense. Okay? And so I'm not saying it to like try to sweep it under the rug. I'm not Bongino. But some of it starts to have some of that larger than life fake shit, and then it starts to become too, like, if we want to confuse people, we flood them with too much information. Okay? And so saying this to say, I'm not saying that this thing has no legs. I'm saying that it looks like they're flooding it so you can't distinguish real from the fake. The QAnon shit in 2020 and all of that, it had those same energies. Okay? 27, 18, 19, 20, going into 2020, right? But then when, outside of all of that, when he won based on this new term, in those first 2 weeks to a month, oh, he was on a fucking tear. And it just was looking great, slashing this and Doge and this and that and this, and everything looked great. And none of it came into fruition. One thing that I will acknowledge this administration for doing was the freeing of Ross Ulbright. We got a man that just created a website, the Silk Road. We got him home from potentially doing life. Okay? And so that's a good. Now, some people, I know, you know, his mom, Ross's mom, respects our work with BGM. So I'm also easy when I say certain things. However, it starts to look like the freeing of Ross was a thing to keep libertarians mouths shut, because he came and asked libertarians for their support. If not for libertarians, I mean, right, wrong, or indifferent, right? Because if this would have went the right way, we would have wanted to take, you know, credit for that. And it's not looking like it's the right way, as far as it relates to the pro-gun and other things. If not for libertarians and that slither of libertarians getting behind this, Donald Trump would not be the president of the United States. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. And so in watching this and watching this great redemption arc and watching like this video that we watched, and now we got all of these Trump acolytes saying anti-gun shit, I am going to go out there and say this shit is a massive fucking fumble. The likes of which I don't know if there's ever been a more massive fumble. When I say fumble, I don't just mean just a bad presidency. I think the Biden administration was the worst presidency and an obvious moronic president, right? But when I say fumble, I mean you had you broke free. You were a wide receiver. You got all the way open. You broke free from your coverage. You had it in your hand and you fucking fumbled it. And that's what this administration is looking like, especially as it relates to the Second Amendment. So let's play it again. When we hear this administration saying shit like this.
I like that he had a gun. I don't like that he had 2 fully loaded magazines. That's a lot of bad stuff.
You cannot bring a firearm loaded with multiple magazines to any sort of protest that you wanted.
I am sorry that this gentleman is dead, but he did bring a 9mm semi-automatic weapon with 2 cartridges to what was supposed to be a peaceful protest.
You have the right to carry a weapon to defend yourself, not the privilege. It is a right. Those rights come with restrictions.
We respect that Second Amendment right, but
this Johnny Bones character that I think he lost his legs or some shit like that. I didn't know who that dude was. Somebody else told me, right? Lost his legs, combat vet. I'm tired of the fucking vet bros. Then they transition into a job in the administration or on television, and then they tell you why you can't have a gun, or you can, but only certain places. And here's the reality, guys. Let's cut the bullshit. And here's the difference between me, and this is the reason why some of your favorite Second Amendment advocates and activists get on television shows, and I don't want to be on these shows anymore, because they won't tell you the truth. Here's the reality. You should have a gun wherever you want to go, and until you attempt to use that firearm to violate somebody unjustifiably, there should be no fucking restrictions at all. This is not fucking controversial. This is not controversial. Any politician, Second Amendment activist, advocate, anybody telling you some shit other than that is wrong. They are wrong. I don't give a fuck what they think. I don't care. Have a gun, take it, whatever, and then if you have it in defense of life, great. If there's no reason to pull it out, you don't. This argument that you can't go to a protest, now we see in the pundit class that are on the right repeat some of the same stupid shit. I've lost so much respect for so many people over the last month or so. We're watching people say, you shouldn't have a firearm at a protest. And these are the same people that said, I'm a Second Amendment absolutist. They did nothing wrong at January 6th. These are the same people that are saying, those guys aren't peacefully protesting because they're harassing and yelling at the police officers while some of these folks went to J6. They're walking fucking contradictions. Then when none of your fucking Second Amendment activists and advocates with these big platforms are willing to say a very basic truth, now the narrative and the languaging starts to change. You see these guys talking about you're allowed to have a weapon. Anything's a fucking weapon. This comb, this lighter, this fucking incense, whatever. Anything could potentially be a weapon. You have a right to keep and bear arms, and that includes and up to firearms. And that right shall not be infringed. I don't give a fuck what Second Amendment person you're talking about. If they got less followers than me, more subscribers than me, don't give a fuck. If they're not saying that, they are wrong and you should not fucking listen to them. I don't give a fuck about being on any of these people's platforms anymore because I did all of these people's platforms anymore. And I see that's a way that they dangle this shit in front of people so they can get access. This is what I just made a video about Tim Pool a few days ago. Now, like, I'm the boot. I'm the boot. You give them a little bit of access and you see how quickly they motherfucking switch their principles right the fuck up. I'm not doing it. I'm going to get rich, wealthy, and more powerful without dick riding. I've touched all of these stages. I've spoken in front of Trump at CPAC. I didn't have to dick ride. Is it going to be a little bit more difficult because the surveillance state and now the right is ratcheting up the conversation, the anti-gun conversation? Maybe. Maybe more of you are seeing the bullshit and I can continue to be a voice for you and you guys will highlight that. I'm telling y'all, I fuck with solutionaries, and if you tapping into the show, I'm going to assume you're a solutionary. I don't give a fuck about what none of these stooges say. It's anti-gun rhetoric, and I don't give a fuck about their dork, dweeb fucking teams. Fuck them. Firearms are to defend life. If you try to reach for that firearm to attack any human, law enforcement, American, whatever, and there's no defense of life, you are wrong and a bunch of other people should fucking shoot you. This is not complicated. They're trying to make it seem like it's complicated to convince you that it's somewhat different, as if the Second Amendment isn't very, very fucking clear. So they got stooges on camera saying shit like this. And then I get on camera and go, no. Because that's stupid.
So to be clear,
Calling law enforcement, calling law names like Gestapo, or using the term kid.
I raise your voice.
I don't like that he had a gun. I don't like that he had two fully
Calling law
loaded
enforcement, calling law enforcement names like Gestapo, or using the term kidnapping. That is a choice that is made. There are actions and consequences
like that he had
that
a gun. I don't
come
like
from
that he
those
had two
choices.
fully loaded magazines. That's a lot of bad stuff.
And then when you choose,
You cannot bring a firearm loaded with multiple magazines to any sort of
somewhere else. You bring a gun into this district, count on going to jail, and hope you get the gun back. You bring a gun into the district, you mark my words, you're going to jail. You bring a gun into the district, you mark my words, you're going to jail. I don't care if you have a license in another district, and I don't care if you're a law-abiding gun owner somewhere else. You bring a gun into this district, count on going to jail, and hope you get the gun back. You bring a gun into the district, you mark my words, you're going to jail. I don't care if you have a license in another district, and I don't care if you're a law-abiding gun owner somewhere else. You bring a gun into this district, count on going to jail, and hope you get the gun back. You bring a gun into the district,
I'm not making this up. When I told y'all tonight this is what betrayal looks like, this is what the fuck I mean. Now, she tried to backpedal. She put out another statement, and I got some content coming out, right? I got some content coming out chopping this up, okay? She tried to backpedal and say, oh, I'm really... No, guys. These people are anti-gun. These people are anti-Second Amendment. They are assuading you to believe that they kind of are, but that's the same exact thing that the fucking left does. This is the same thing that what's his name? Gavin Newsom does. I'm not anti-gun. I'm a gun owner. Fucking Gavin Newsom talk with his hands and shit like he fucking dancing the rumba. As a Second Amendment, I'm an American. I just believe we should have some sort of common sense gun laws, right? They're liars. They all the same. If you get on stage and now, mind you, let's go back to DC. What this judge is talking about here, right? Pirro, whatever the fuck her name is. Let's go back. Pirro tried to extend the federal so-called assault weapons ban. She did. When the so-called assault weapons ban was over with, she wanted it to be reinstated. She wanted it extended. Then she gets on television to say, if you bring a gun into the district, now let's go to DC. DC's not a city or a state. It is a federally owned, controlled, and operated district of Columbia by design. Okay, I want to be very, very clear about that. Now, the people of DC have licenses to carry, but in essence, she's saying, if you come from somewhere else, your license does not have reciprocity with the District of Columbia. But that's not a Second Amendment statement. The fact that licenses exist, licenses are infringements. Now, this is not me telling you guys that you don't have to get a license to carry. That's not what I'm saying. If you feel comfortable getting it, cool, get it. I'm not tripping. But I want you guys to understand what licenses are. Licenses are government's way of selling you your natural rights back to you. Okay? So when you're traveling, why do I need a license to travel? Because they've told you that this is now a commercial activity, so you need a license to do it. So licenses are the government's way of selling you your stuff you're born with back to you. Okay? So if you want to do it, cool. It's infinitely easier to do. Law enforcement's brains just stay right there. So it's easier to go, here's the thing that you think I need. So I'm not telling you not to. I'm just telling you this is where we are in a nation that was founded on the ideals of the firearm is there to limit the government, not the fucking other way around. See, if they can make it seem very complicated and dangerous and so forth and so on, then you'll go, oh, okay, well, maybe there's a special type of human that actually needs this thing. And then when they say things like this, you'll think that it's okay.
You bring a gun into the district, you mark my words, you're going to jail. I don't care if you have a license in another district, and I don't care if you're a law-abiding gun owner somewhere else.
Not a criminal. She's not saying this for criminals. She's not saying this for murderers. She's not saying this for robbers, bank robbers, stick-up kids. She's saying, I don't care that you're a safe and responsible law-abiding citizen. The law-abiding citizen spiel was their thing. We're law-abiding citizens. I'm not a law-abiding citizen because if the law is unjust, I'm not supporting it. And the laws, or so-called laws, because they're actually statutes, any law that is contrary to the highest law of the land as it relates to firearms is the Second Amendment, is null and void. Marbury exists. My point in saying this is this person is now, they're moving that goalpost this way. And if you accept it because Trump is our guy and his administration, you got to trust the process. Don't be divided. The left wants us divided. Da, 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 da. That's how they get you to do atrocities, because when your team is doing it, you don't want to maintain a standard. She is fucking wrong and she's a judge. She's wrong. Wrong. 1,000% wrong. See, but a lot of your Second Amendment activists and advocates and all of this, they like going to the fucking CPAC, the NRA. I don't give a f. Already did it. That's to me, I already slam dunked that bitch. I don't want her no more. I already touched that stage. I already had her. I don't want it. I already had it. I got mad at it. I don't want it no more. It's beneath me. I don't want to touch none of these people. I don't want to know these people. I don't want to kick it with these people. These people are fucking filthy. They are fucking slimy, unpatriotic. You ever be around a fucking coward and you know they a coward and that your vibe lets them know that you know that they a fucking coward? That's what these people are to me. I don't want to be around you fuckers. Most of the dope people at CPAC that I kicked it with got fired. Why did they get fired? Because they wanted to bring truth to power. Fuck these people, bro. They are not the real power. You are. We are. Solutionaries are. All right? Oh, somebody gave a super chat. Appreciate that. Renee Martin, let me see that real quick. Said, hold up. Let me read this, John. Where is that? Let me scroll up to it. Maj, I've been following you for a few years now. I'm a conservative because of my biblical values, but I'll tell you I don't agree with a lot from both sides. Maybe even you might disagree on some topics, but love what you do. Hey, I appreciate that tremendously. Appreciate you. We need, what was it, 9 more? Appreciate that, Renee, at the $20 super chat. That is 1,000% accurate. I appreciate you. Guys, when I say these things, I'm saying them from a place of, I go in whatever room I want to go into. I hang out, I see what's in the room, and I go, that's some bullshit. The NRA room is bullshit. They had these $1,000. Anybody that donates more than $1 million to the NRA, they get this gold jacket, gold blazer. Like when you win the Masters, right? In golf, you get the green jacket, right? One of those. I'll be in all of them rooms. Fucking bullshit room. Corny. Everybody pretending like they Christian conservatives. This adultery and wild shit going on. I was the cleanest motherfucker in there just because I would get the fuck out of there. And that's a lot. And I'm not saying every single person there. I want to be very clear. But these people ain't fighting for the defense of fucking America. They're not. They're not. This lady just got on television and told y'all, I don't care if you are a law-abiding, safe and responsible gun owner. That used to be their tagline. That was the FUD, NRA bullshitter, one fucking gun, Elmer Fudd, face-ass motherfucker tagline. As long as you're a law-abiding citizen, as long as you're a safe and responsible gun owner. But the beauty of it is the leftist agenda is packaged in people on the right accepting what their guy says now. Well, you gotta respect the federal government. You gotta respect what they're doing. Not the fact that how ICE and Border Patrol and these dudes is doing it it's a shit show. Not a standard. If they can get you to deviate from a standard and deviate further and further and easier, right? When it's your actual side, it's easy. That's how they get it off. Don't let them do that. Don't stop following all of these meat gobblers, acting like there's certain questions that don't make sense. Because you know what happens? I want to show y'all what happens. Because they'll say, you a conspiracy theorist, you this, you that, right? They'll say all of that shit. And then shit like this will happen. So I want to be clear. The first video that I played of y'all was in relation to Alex Preddy. I think that's his name. The dude that got killed in Minneapolis, St. Paul, a few weeks ago, right? They're saying he came near and he had a gun, so that automatically made him bad. Until you watch the video in full, outside of they bullshit, and they're lying. I'm sorry. I am right of center. I am a libertarian, but I am not obligated to none of these fuck nuts. None of them. Congress is not beholden to the fucking executive branch. That's the reason why a system of checks and balances exists. So the judicial, the executive, nor the legislative can just be running the fucking muck. And when you just give a blank check to all of the picks of a particular administration, and then they start doing Gestapo tactics, and then when you call them Gestapo tactics, because you are a student of history, and they go, it's not Gestapo, and then they say Gestapo shit, then you're supposed to step up and say, absolutely not. No. Because if not, you hear shit like this. This guy right here, right? This is the day after Alex Preddy was killed, or a few days after. This is what he says, and has been packaged and said, this guy's on some Gestapo shit. Why is he walking the fucking Führer fucking coat on with the fucking Nazi fucking belt? That's not fucking standard uniform for American fucking outfits, military dudes. It's not. You doing all of this extra shit. So this is who this guy has been packaged as. Then he says things like this.
Names like Gestapo, or calling law enforcement names like Gestapo, or using the term kidnapping. That is a choice that is made there are actions and consequences that come from those choices.
Calling law enforcement Gestapo is a choice. There is actions and consequences that come from that choice. So you're literally saying there's going to be consequences for you calling us a name as we do Gestapo shit. Saying this right here, which is a thinly veiled threat, is Gestapo shit. I'm going to play it again because y'all going to think I'm making it up. Let's start it again.
Calling law enforcement names like Gestapo or using the term kidnapping, that is a choice that is made. There are actions and consequences that come from those choices. And then when you choose, when someone chooses to listen to a politician, a so-called journalist, a community leader that spouted that type of vilification towards law enforcement or anything else, when you choose to listen to that, that is a choice, and there are consequences and actions there also. I think we saw that yesterday.
This is the day after Alex Preddy was killed. This dickhead is on the stage saying, if you listen to politicians or so-called journalists calling us out on our shit, there's going to be consequences and actions for you if you listen to that. And the consequence was yesterday when a guy got killed, an American got killed. If this is not, let's silence the press, and I hate that this shit y'all are so fucking goofy that it starts to sound like I'm damn near sounding like a leftist. And I'm not. I'm just a fucking patriot. But y'all went so goofy that you became the fucking you became the fascist. So then when I start saying that's some fascist shit, that's some Gestapo shit, now it looked like I'm the blue-haired freak that calls somebody that wore a fucking Trump hat a fascist. And that's not what I'm doing. But this shit... What the fuck just happened there? Everybody here? I don't know what the fuck just happened. Y'all can hear me? I said Gestapo and they got rid of me. What the fuck? We here?
Calling law enforcement names like Gestapo or using the term kidnapping, that is a choice that is made. There are actions and consequences that come from those choices. And then when you choose, when someone chooses to listen to a politician, a so-called journalist, a community leader that spouted that type of vilification towards law enforcement or anything else, when you choose to listen to that, that is a choice, and there are consequences and actions there also. I think we saw that yesterday. Calling law enforcement names like...
So now I can't call... Fuck you, pig. How about that? How about that? And I have respect for law enforcement officers that actually go catch fucking criminals. Actuals try to save somebody's life, stop somebody from getting robbed. But you the same type of pussy that'll stand out as a school in Texas getting shot up, and you guys stand outside. So you're talking about the American people that are being critical. And notice he said so-called journalists. You'll be critical of those Americans. But at the same time, when I'm saying these administrations are not fucking pro-gun, when I'm saying these administrations are not okay, they're not okay. They're not okay. I'm telling y'all that from a balanced perspective. These people are fucking morons. And if you're on the right and you letting that shit ride, why do I go so hard? Tim Pool said that I was ignorant around the situation of what's going on in Minneapolis. I'm not ignorant. I just value the Second Amendment more than some ragtag motherfucking lefties that are getting funded by fucking Soros type of shit. I care more about the Constitution and the Second Amendment. We can dispose of those guys with ICE actually doing the job right and communicating effectively with local law enforcement, which has just happened. Tim Waltz and those guys are saying 700 folks that are Border Patrol, whatever, ICE, are being snatched out of Minneapolis, St. Paul, because local law enforcement is going to be coordinating. And this is what I'm saying. We're not in opposition to saying we want the criminals and the rapists and the illegals. We want them here. I'm not that fucking person. But I want you to not trample on the fucking Constitution while you do it. I'm not going to give government a blank check to move forward with the goofy shit. I know what happened after 9/11. I'm 78 years old. I know what the fuck goes on when you give government blank checks like that. Stop it. I thought we were all on the same level of understanding, at least on the right side of the political aisle. So when I say this administration is not pro-gun, I'm not saying it because I'm just trying to sound fucking edgy. I'm telling you, I can see the writing on the wall. I'm looking at the positions and the people that they put in position. I'm looking at them going, that was a story. Y'all built an amazing redemption arc. And whether the fumble was intentional or accidental, it's the biggest fucking political fumble in political American history. And what cannot happen is it cannot turn into people on the right actually advocating more for fucking more federal government when you got goofballs like Bovine here saying this type of shit, basically threatening people. Yeah, we killed that guy yesterday that was listening to these journalists and filming and so forth and so on. When you call us names, there's going to be actions and consequences for that. If he was my employee, he will be fucking fired. But you know why he's not fired? And why he feels comfortable standing in front of the fucking American flag talking like that? Because the general public ain't putting boot and belt to ass. We got soft. I'm hard as nails. Don't get it fucked up. Pause. But I'm a part of our collective. We as a collective got soft. We are not growing food. Fuck growing with food. We ain't just even eating healthy. We are not working out. We are not taking civics. We are not understanding the importance of being armed. And we chilling because our side is in charge right now. Dumbest shit in the world. Dumbest shit in the world. When your side is saying anti-gun rhetoric, flat out, and your side is hiring dudes like that, then as that shit rolls downhill, this what the chain of command look like later. Let's play it. Let's get a little bit more. This is what the chain of command looks like. You get all the way down to the rank and file, the foot patrol. You get all the way down to the rank and file. And they say things like this to American people.
I will tell you this. I will tell you this, brother.
What?
You know? I will tell you this. You raise your voice, I raise your voice.
If I raise my voice, you'll erase my...
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Are you serious? You
Yeah.
said if I raise my voice, you'll erase my voice?
Yes. I will tell you this, brother.
What? Play it again.
I will tell you this. You raise your voice, I raise your voice.
If I raise my voice, you'll erase my...
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Are you serious? You
Yeah.
said if I raise my voice, you'll erase my voice?
Yes.
Now, y'all gonna get mad at me for saying this part. Okay? Y'all gonna get mad at me for saying this. This motherfucker, based on his accent, he could be an American. He's an American. But it sounds like he's not too far fresh off the boat. And this complex that a lot of people get when they come from somewhere else and you give them a position. This is why soldiers from the UN or law enforcement officers, they say you can't live in that's no longer a thing. If you're a police officer, you can't live in the same district that you work in, which is wrong. Because how the fuck you going, who would be better to police the community in a way and know what's the bullshit and what's the real shit than a person from the community? But anyway, UN picks soldiers from here and bring them here because there's no attachment to the fucking locals. Other than if they can utilize them for intelligence or resources or whatever. So this person gets in, gets the job, and now top flight security of the world, Craig. To the point where you are telling an American, a fellow American, if you raise your voice, I will erase your voice. So when the brass is saying on television in front of the American flag saying, if you listen to these so-called journalists that's calling us names, we gonna kill you. We make those very not so thinly veiled threats. And that's the brass. Then the shit roll downhill. Now you get the rank and file saying things like, you raise your voice, I erase your voice. Fuck the First Amendment. So when I'm telling y'all, it ain't just about firearms. When I say get in a civics class, join the Solutionary Nine, get in shape, get in a community of people working together to strengthen and empower and inform each other. I'm not saying it because I want to sell you a fucking program. I want to fucking be on the beach swimming. I'm telling you, if the way that this shit is going, and we on the political right are the people that are supposed to be pushing back against this stupid shit, we are championing it. Again, I've done Tim Pool's show 3 times. Tim was saying, I'm the boot now. That is fucking delusional. And if we're right of the political aisle, and from the boots on the ground, rank and file, officer, foot soldier like that, all the way up to the head of the fucking border patrol, is basically saying, we're gonna fucking give you consequences because you give us limits on our government. And the commander-in-chief is saying, I don't like that they had a gun. That is that same shit pile rolling downhill. And if the people on the right are not pushing back against it, and your favorite fucking influencer, Second Amendment, showing up with all of the fucking cool guns, I don't give a fuck about your guns. Fuck your guns. You ain't gonna shoot shit. You ain't gonna use the Second Amendment for what it really the fuck is for. See, it's too many pussies. Everybody comfortable. Everybody want access. Everybody want to be with the in crowd. Don't nobody want to do no fucking patriot shit. No solutionary shit, except solutionaries. It's up to us. You got the executive branch saying, I don't like that he had a gun. Trump has had more federal fucking regulations on firearms introduced than any president. Trump. Bump stock ban, Trump. I don't take the guns due process later. Fuck the first, second. These guys say fuck the First Amendment. Trump says fuck the Fourth. And then fuck the Second all the way around. It's just fuck the, just gang banging the fucking Bill of Rights. Just fucking bending her over. And you, and your fucking pundits cheering on for it from different angles. See, the chessboard is vast. You thought this shit was about immigration. You don't even see the ground shrinking underneath your feet. You thought this shit was about getting the illegals. But then they said, or strengthening America. Then they said, let's get more Indians, let's get more Asians in here. Well, Chinese, because technically Indians are Asian, right? Let's get more Indians in here. Let's get more Chinese. Then when asked Trump about, well, why can't we just get them? Oh, you don't have the talent. That's what he said. You think it's really about fucking, it's about a control mechanism. And none of your fucking pundits are saying this shit to you. Wild. None of your pundits are saying this. From the top in Trump to the judge to head of the fucking FBI, while they hide all of the conversation about the Epstein and they convolute it and throw 12 million of it so it's impossible to fucking distinguish. Then is it halfway QAnon shit, halfway too speculative? There's no way that Pusha T was on fucking Epstein Island at 17, 8 years old. Jay-Z's first album came out in 95, 96. If that was the year that y'all saying he was on Epstein Island, for what? He couldn't even, he was still on Priority Records. What are we talking about? So they'll mix the convoluted shit to hide. You steal a pair of socks. You want to hide them, you put them in a sock drawer. So they doing all of this, and none of your fucking pundits, the Matt Walshes, is telling you, yeah, we need the feds. There's no nuance. There's no patriotism. There's no actual support for the Second Amendment. The people that you're doing this shit that you listening to don't serve the Second Amendment. This is why I keep bugging y'all. We got 253 more spots left. We need 253 more $100 donors. If you're watching tonight, we're trying to get 100 of them motherfuckers tonight. Give, guys. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. What did we do with BGM? Why am I calling this a fucking betrayal? One, what we did with BGM. Historically, we got urban communities, more specifically the black community. Why? Because gun control is focused on black communities. Okay? All gun control was started to stop black people from having the means to defend themselves. That's not me like victim mindset. It's history. It's facts. Black codes, slave codes. Come on, right? So since we started doing that work, the black community been buying more guns than anybody. We got to keep going. It's not enough. It's not enough. And we did that with a shoestring budget. It's not enough. Why do we keep adding classes? Because when you teach somebody about firearms basics, the natural reaction is for them to go, well, the Second Amendment thing, what's the First Amendment? What's the third? What's the fourth? Now that we get them on that, now we get them in civics. Now we get them civically engaged. We have to make more force multipliers. If we don't, we have the might of the fucking federal government with a president on the right and people on the right being quiet because they know, a lot of your fucking pundits know that this shit is wrong. They just being quiet and just going along with it because they don't want to rock the boat. They like being a part of them fucking cliques, and I'm telling y'all, I'll be in them rooms. They're fucking dweebs, dorks, geeks. Elijah Schaffer, fucking scumbag. I told y'all Elijah Schaffer was a fucking clown last year. I told y'all that. Now the story coming out. It ain't because I knew what fucking he was doing in closed doors. I don't give a fuck about somebody's private life. I don't give a shit about that. I'm telling you that these people's character is shitty. They rush to whatever is the thing that's going to get them up. You notice how I've been speaking about black issues, right? And none of my white followers feel like I'm being mean to them. Y'all notice that? When I'm critical of black people, none of my black followers are like, Maj be just saying that shit to appease his white followers. Because it's just balance. It's just what's righteous, what's solutionary, what's the standard. We meet the standard. That's it. But some of these people, as somebody in the chat just said, it's the go along to get along gang. I don't like none of you motherfuckers if you ain't a solutionary. Fuck you. Because if you're a solutionary, you're trying to empower yourself, your family, your community. You're trying to get stronger. You're trying to live longer. You're trying to do the right thing by people. You're trying to serve yourself, your family, and your community, and your God. That falls right in alignment with a solid American. But that's not what these people want. They want to be a part of a clique. They want to say, fuck the left. They want to shit on half of Americans because they have a little bit of a political difference. Meanwhile, the average everyday American got vast majority of shit in common. The pundits and the media class, along with the political class, are fucking you over. And they're working together to fuck your mind over. And don't think it's just on CBS, CNN, Fox. They done matriculated in the motherfucking social media. Elon said it. You are the media now. And I'm telling y'all, I think I'm paying attention pretty well. I could tie it in together and communicate it. It's just none of your pundits are doing it because they want a dick ride. They want to be invited to Mar-a-Lago. I've been to Mar-a-Lago. It's overrated. To me, I don't like Victorian gaudy shit. It ain't my thing. I'm more of a minimalist myself, modern. They want to, I don't need fucking approval. Most of us watching this don't need it either. But what we do need to do is band together and support the things that make this more powerful. We will fucking lose if we are not organized, informed, and brave. In 50 years, America will not be here. Doing it this way, the way that this is going and the way that this look, America could not be here. So they're trying to convince you that, yeah, man, just don't, the left wants us divided on the right. We're supposed to be divided on the right if the right isn't doing the right thing. They're wrong. The standard is the fucking Constitution, limiting government. This fucking dude right here in this video should be scared shitless to even utter some shit like that. But they're not scared shitless because they know that the general public is fucking weak. They know that the general public is not informed. They know it. They know it. The ATF has a database of over 1 billion gun transactions. Let's read the highlighted part. Gun Owners of America revealed the ATF was processing, quote unquote, over 54.7 million out of business records per year. This prompted our first congressional investigation, which uncovered the shocking reality that the ATF currently had in its possession 920,664,765 gun registration records, the vast majority of which were digitalized, and searchable. Our duty to the Second Amendment and gun-owning Americans compels us to hold you, the Director of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, Explosive, accountable. We fear the ATF could have as many as 1.1 billion gun registration records in its database if ATF has continued with this historic pace and digitalized an average of 50 million firearm transaction records per year. This is a violation of the federal prohibition on gun registration at 18 U.S.C. 926A3, which clearly states, no such rule or regulation prescribed after the date of the read to the yellow. Given the severity of this potential violation of federal law and the threat of an illegal national gun registry poses towards the Second Amendment rights of the American people, we are also troubled by the ATF's lack of a response to our investigative inquiry. Your continued refusal to provide basic information raises serious questions about whether the ATF, despite changes in leadership and stated priorities, remains in compliance with several congressional appropriations restrictions, a federal statute, and the Second and 14th Amendments. When I'm telling y'all that these fucking people are fucking mopes, and they're all 1,000% clowns, what are we doing? I'm not saying this to sound funny. I'm telling y'all, I see this answer. Me individually, I'll be fine. I'll bust my gun. I don't give a fuck. I didn't expect to be alive this long. It ain't nothing but an honorable death to me, fighting for what the fuck I'm fighting for. I ain't tripping. I don't give a fuck. I'm a real fucking American. I'm from that motherfucking John Brown, Frederick Douglass, Denmark, VC, Nat Turner shit. That's the energy I'm on. And I'm from Philly. I'm from the birthplace of America. America was built by a whole bunch of motherfuckers in Philly getting shit right, saying fuck the police. That's what America actually is. I'm from that. I was born and raised in Philadelphia, north to be exact. So I'll be fine. But I'm one dude. Me and my little crew can't, it gotta be a collective. So Will Voss says, am I going to carry to the ICE protest when the time comes? I don't protest that way. I don't fucking protest. I've said this several times. More impactful than protesting ICE, because I'm not in opposition to unlawful immigrants to America being isolated, targeted, and removed. I'm not in opposition to that. This is the thing. People think because I'm on limited government that means they hear I'm a libertarian and they're like, oh, you must be open borders. No, you can't have open border. Even fucking Murray Rothbard changed his view on open borders towards the last few years of his life. You can't have open borders in a welfare state. We definitely got a welfare state. Vast majority of that is because of the Democrats. That's just what it is. That's not a diss. I'm talking about the Democratic political class. That's what happened. But that doesn't mean that when the fucking right is in control, Republicans got the House, the Senate, and the executive branch. Ain't shit happened. You ain't getting no arrests. You got more spending. Do y'all understand that? Like 2 days ago, Trump signed a bill for $1.2 trillion in spending. Do y'all understand that? So it ain't like it's that much of a difference in spending between them two. So my critique of the right does not mean that I'm on the left. I don't like neither one of you motherfuckers. I like patriots and solutionaries. If you ain't a solutionary, you fucking wrong. You fucking wrong. Fuck out of here. You think because I'm limiting the government from trampling the Constitution, and I'm like, yeah, illegal fucking potential rapists, stay here. No. I also don't think that the vast majority of people that have come into America without filling out paperwork, I don't think that they are a threat to the vast majority of Americans. I don't. I think where it dials down in is where states start making it like, yeah, you can have benefits, and it taxes the tax base. I think that. But that can be solved by Congress doing its job, not by sending a fucking Molotov cocktail concoction of fucking ICE, Border Patrol, National Guard, saying fuck the 10th Amendment. No, that doesn't how to do that. So I don't protest that way. So I wouldn't be at ICE. I never protest. I empower and inform. Our work is in the Supreme Court decision. Our work has led to more black people buying guns in the last 8 years than any time in American history. That's the biggest protest that I could do. And I did that with less than $1 million given away. And we only 250 $100 donors away from that $1 million. That's my protest, actual work. So listen, I don't protest. I'm a solutionary. I solve the motherfucking problem. And the problem that we have right now, guys, is we this close to the end. We need to empower more people. That remaining 253 donors at the $100 level trains 1,020 people. Why is that important? Why am I saying that to y'all tonight? Because we're going to wrap up here soon. Guys, make sure y'all hit the like button, smash this, repost it. Only one person reposted on fucking X. Thanks, guys. Thanks a whole fucking lot. Thanks, guys. Share this all over the place. But my point, guys, is this. Why does that 1,020 people that we get informed, how does that matter? Because those 1,000, we're not just creating, I don't want followers. Leaders make more leaders. We are in the business, y'all are in the business of making force multipliers. So you guys saying, all right, Maj, I'm going to donate. If you can't donate at the $100 level, don't. Give whatever you can. If there's 200 of y'all, think about this for a second. If there's 200 of y'all in here, and the 200 people gave $50, $20, y'all get my point. We're stronger as a unit, okay? But those 1,020 people that we train, that we get the classes for free, whether that's in person or whether that's online, we get them a class, right? And if you need a class, if you need an online class, shoot me your email. Shoot me your email to my DM, okay? When we get those 1,020 people and they're on board, they start bringing their people on board. It's faster to get it's more difficult for me to get 253 of y'all to give $100, right? That's the most difficult part. But then when I train them 1,000 people, oh man, to get them 1,000 people to get 10,000 people involved is much easier because it's a force multiplier. That's what the phrase means. I get 253 of y'all to donate. We train 1,020 people. Those 1,000 people reach out and then 10,000 people. This is the power of the hive mind in a good way, not the negative, how it normally is used. Okay? This is why I keep saying to y'all, yo, don't just say all of this shit, Maj, I fuck with you. We need help. We are 253 $100 donors away from ending this part. And we are up against an administration that is openly, from the top on down to the bottom level, advocating for anti-gun policies, advocating for if you step out of line and you say something against law enforcement, we're going to fucking kill you. That's in so many words what the nigga motherfucker Bovine said. That's what he said. Tell me where I'm wrong. So no, my protest is in solutions. And I'm willing to die and kill about mine. But deeper than that, I'm willing to stay alive, be healthy for longer, and just do this freedom shit for the next 50 years I got on the planet. See, I'm 80 years old. I'm going to be around till I'm 120, 130. Okay? So during that time, I just want to say fuck corrupt government and highlight freedom and liberty the whole time. That's all I want to do. It's all I want to do. But I need you guys' help to do that. I showed y'all what it is. The letter is right there. That's what the ATF is doing. While they increasing Palantir in a surveillance state, while they're convincing people on the right to ask for more federal government in the name of the fucking emergency known as unlawful immigration, while they don't solve it at the congressional level, while they have the House and the Senate, the surveillance state is expanding, and these people are telling you you shouldn't have guns, while they're telling you, flooding you with misinformation, while you arguing over shit about whether Pusha T was on fucking the Lolita Express or on Epstein Island when he was fucking 17, 18 years old. The chessboard is vast. You got to pay attention to the chessboard the whole time. There's a great book by Zbigniew Brzezinski. It's called The Grand Chessboard. He's dead now. He was an evil motherfucker, calculating motherfucker. You should read it. Everybody that joined, that donates at the $100 level, you're going to get access to all of the classes. You need to take these classes: civics, firearms basics, it's understanding imminent threat, understand liberty, share this with your family, become empowered. This is such a, like, my ability to look at this chessboard and go, oh shit, because I have certain information in my brain already, is the same information that I want to give y'all that y'all can then give to your family. There is nothing more fucking beautiful, wonderful, and a great feeling than having the information and sharing it with your people and empowering them too. That's why I want you guys to fucking be donors, support our fucking work so we can make more force multipliers. How does this go? You're a donor at givesendgo.com/solutionary, right? You donate. And when you donate, I have your email. Matter of fact, somebody do it right here. Somebody do it. Somebody donate, or whatever number you want. I'm going to see the email on my phone, and I'm going to walk y'all through the process before we wrap up. It's on the screen right now. If you're watching this on Instagram, on X, it's my pinned post. It's right up at the top. It's 200 of y'all in here. If 100 people donate $100, all 100 of you, I'm going to get an email from you saying such and such donated. I'm going to have your email. I'm going to send you an email with access to all of those classes. And I'm telling you, I want you guys to 1000% share the information with your people. I want you to treat it like the Netflix password. All of y'all in this motherfucker got 4 people on your Netflix password. Don't lie. I know you do. We all do. I do. I definitely do. My shit probably at a hotel somewhere that I went to last year, 5 years ago. Right? My point is, I want you to do that. I want you to pay it forward. If you're giving up $100, you're getting, 5 or 6 classes that you take at your own leisure. You have a login, and you pick the classes when you want to take them. They're videos, and they're modules. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3. There's little cute tests at the end. You get a certificate. It's all of that amazing shit. You get a Stop the Bleed class. The Stop the Bleed class is $50 by itself. But anyway, you donate, you get this login, you get all of this access to all of this stuff, and then you get to share that with your people. I'm telling you, share it with your people. If you are not informing your fucking, look, Kymer Shadow says, they kicked me off Netflix because I was using my brother's account and we don't live in the same household. I'm telling y'all, I promise you, we will not kick you out of Solutionary University if you share them with your people. We won't. I want you to pay it forward. We got 1,020 people we trying to inform. I want you to pay it forward. And then after you pay it forward, I want you to teach the people with all of the information that you have. You have a lifetime access to the classes, right? You're not in the Solutionary 9, but you got all of the classes. The new classes that come, you'll have access to those too. Like, I couldn't have made it any simpler and any more inexpensive. It is. Why? Because one hand washes the other. Both hands get together and wash the face. America, our face is fucking filthy. Our hands are filthy. Our government, our public servants are shitty fucking people. Our hands, our face, we dirty. We got to clean up the mess ourselves. And this is what we're doing. And this is what, and look what they're doing. Y'all read the article? That was from today. Gun Owners of America put that story out today. So, givesendgo.com/solutionary. If you cannot give at the $100 level, give $25 and I'll get you the firearms class, something, right? I would love for everybody in here to donate at the $100 level. If you can't, donate at whatever level you can. $5, $10, $50, $100. Some of y'all in here rich. Y'all just hide it very well, right? We got $25,000 left to raise. One of y'all just give $25,000. That solves the whole thing, right? But I want everybody to be empowered. I want you guys to make sure that you're sharing this all over the place. Okay, boom. I just got a donation. Somebody just gave. I'm going to say your name starts with M-O. I ain't going to say your whole name. At yahoo.com. That just happened at 9:10. It was $100. Let me see. What did you put a... You gave it as an anonymous donation. Okay? Now, I don't know if you want to identify yourself. So I'm going to, in turn, I'm emailing you right now. Because some people think I'm a bot. This is not a bot. This is actually me, right? And I have, some people get mad because they're like, Maj, why the fuck you not picking up your phone? These are 3 of my phones. I have like 5 of them. So if you're trying to call me, if you're not getting to me, it's because I'm focused right now. All right? If you want to identify yourself, anonymous person, you don't have to. Just give a thumbs up or something when you are, when you get this email. All right? So I'm copying and pasting. And you're going to be boom, send from my email directly to you. Okay? So you're going to get an onboard email that's going to give you access to all of the classes. Okay? Check your spam too. All right? Why am I saying this to y'all? I'm saying this to y'all because I want y'all to see that this is serious. This is hands-on. This is community. And this is a small, you don't need a bajillion dollars to get things done. I don't want y'all to feel like it's impossible. It's impossible to win. The machine is too big. We got in the Supreme Court decision with just some elbow grease and a little under $1 million in a little under 9 years. You can beat this machine. Do not become demoralized. They want you demoralized. They want you demoralized. Renee says, join the Solutionary 9. Yeah, that's where everybody can join and get access to even more stuff at the Solutionary 9. That's on the screen now. But my point in saying this to y'all is this. Boom, thumbs up. Just got the email, right? Boom. Now you're going to get another email. All of that was just me. Okay? That was me. That wasn't a bot. Don't have to be bots. We want to have this human connection and experience. The reason why your fucking pundits and your fucking, these people that y'all like seem to like I don't know why any of y'all still follow anybody over at the Daily Wire. They all fucking clowns. They all clowns. They're not patriots. Just because a motherfucker throw on a flannel and get a beard, they're not about that cloth. Pussies. Matt Walsh is a pussy. These people ain't fighting for you. These people, they not. I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all. They're not rough and tumble. They're not going to limit government. They're not cut from the fucking patriot cloth. They just hamburger and hot dog 4th of July motherfuckers that talk that freedom shit. But as soon as the opportunity shows up for them to be authoritarian, they do. They don't limit. We are set with a interesting and nuanced set of problems right now. This set of problems is this. We have had a massive unlawful immigration into America. The vast majority of them are not criminals in the sense of violent criminals. They broke a statute by crossing into America unlawfully, 100%. But your political class made it accessible and enticed and invited them in. Why did they do that? Because they wanted to shift voting patterns in the direction of their direction. The right doesn't want to get rid of them because they want to shift certain jobs that way. They're putting you against each other while controlling the network, as opposed to you acknowledging we have a difficult problem here. We have to target the actual criminals without giving government a blank check to violate the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. That is a nuanced problem. But don't look to government to solve a problem that they created. That is classic Hegelian dialect. I'm a high school dropout, y'all. We can do this. If I know this, and I've dropped out of school in the 10th fucking grade, this can get solved with a little bit of gym, a little bit of reading, a little bit of prayer, a little bit of meditation, a little bit of health and fitness, and a lot of information, and a team, a small motley crew of us really, really pushing, and everybody pitching in and making a little bits of sacrifice, man. We can beat them. They don't have control over us. We already winning. That's why they always got to try to rock us to sleep. Tell you like, yeah, we the most, this is the most pro-gun president ever. No, the fuck, it's not. No, it's not. It's the most anti-gun presidency ever. It is. I'm sorry, guys. You can't just say, y'all still be watching the Daily Wire, Shapiro, facts don't care about your feelings. That's the facts of the matter. We can win, though. So I'm going to ask everybody to pitch in. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. We're going to wrap up. If anybody has any questions real quick on the last wrap up, just type them in. I'll answer them. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the donations. I want everybody to go to the website, though. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Right? Don't just, if you say, damn, Maj, I ain't got 100 to give, don't give 100. Give 20, give 30, give 50. I don't want y'all to think that it got to be a home run. Shit, we take base hits. 3 people, 4 people giving $25, this is the $100. And everybody that gives at $25, I'm going to send you the same email. You tell me, hey, I'm going to get you the firearms basics class. You might not get access to all of the classes, but you'll get that one. And then you'll pay it forward for somebody else. One hand wash the other. Both hands get together and wash the face. We can beat fucking Goliath. You know what I'm saying? It ain't impossible. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. If y'all got any questions, please shoot me a DM, email me, whatever. If you're watching this on X, my DMs are open. Shoot me a DM. I'm going to tell you should be supporting the work for sure. Go grab some merch. Everybody obviously should be subscribed to the YouTube channel. The vast majority of y'all that's watching are not subscribed. This year, we want 100,000 people subscribed to the channel. We are 37,000 subscribers now, 37,000. So that means we need 63,000 subscribers. All right? So everybody that's watching, subscribe to the channel and donate towards the work. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. I want to chop it up with y'all in the DMs too. Shoot me a DM on X or wherever else, Instagram, whatever y'all follow me on. Let's chop it up while I wrap up and get ready for the night. Thank you all for tapping in tonight. I'll see you guys in the DMs, in the social media world, in my emails and things like that. And I hope to see more of you supporting in the work that we're doing. Our opposition is fucking relentless. They are adapting. They are convincing Americans right of the political aisle that everything is okay. Thank you, Will Voss. Appreciate you for that super chat. Right? They're convincing everybody that shit is okay. And it's not fucking okay. We got to make it okay. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Share it all over the place. Subscribe to the channel. Be a $99 donor. Be safe. Be solutionary.